We're finally live on YouTube. Let me know if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Sorry for the late start. I went to a different location today. I've done many streams here in the past and also pre-recorded videos. I am in Redwood Shores, the Redwood Shores part of Redwood City, zip code 94065. Beautiful area, but very windy and always chilly. Even in the summertime, you usually have to wear a jacket and layer up out here because you're closer to the bay. And there's a lot of wind coming at me right now, so hopefully the what do you call it? The dead cat, man, I'm losing my verbiage. It's because I'm excited to be out here. Hopefully it's canceling out the wind. The furry cat, the big furry ball here that people love to criticize from the other side. So, can anybody hear me? Let me know. Nobody's chatted yet. I want to make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Can you folks hear me clearly and see me clearly? Someone should be there that's able to chat. I hear you. Hey, Queen Helen Casey, can you see me as well? Is the audio pretty good? Is the wind coming through, or is it pretty clear, Queen? Ooh, that's a big gust. Whew. Like, look at how windy it is. You can see up ahead there. And many people from the other side ask, why don't you use a shotgun microphone like most YouTubers use nowadays? Well, I have all that. But see, when I turn the camera to face away from me, the shotgun mic would not be able to pick me up. It'd pick up what I'm pointing it at. So this way I can show you beautiful scenery and you can still hear me clearly. Plus, when you have a microphone right up against your, near your mouth, that's the best quality sound. Anyway. Here working, but I can hear and see you fine on my end. Queen, I'm glad you're here. You're so fast to get those trolls. They're trying to bypass my my spam filter. I'm going to wait before I get started on the topic. Wait for a few more people to come on in and let the trolls deplete their socks. That's fine. The more and more the trolls come in, the better I program Nightbot and YouTube to just automatically not let them chat. Ooh, I'm going through this low-hanging tree. I remember when I did a pre-recorded Walking with Purpose video at 4K 60 frames per second. I'm going to wait over here. There's some kids coming on some bikes, so I'm going to wait for them to pass on by. Or maybe I'll just take a little detour if I can. I'm going to take a little detour here. Let's go through this area. I'm doing a little trailblazing right now because there are kids on a bike and they're all over the trail, and they're going to interrupt the stream. They're going to say, "Hey, are you vlogging?" No, I'm actually live on YouTube. I guess you can call it live vlogging if that's what you want to call it. Can't even talk. Trailblazing can be fun. It definitely can be fun. But yeah, like I was saying, the more and more the trolls come in, the more intelligently I program Nightbot and YouTube to just automatically just prevent them from chatting. Folks, if you're looking for my last stream that I did this morning, if you got a notification and you clicked on it and it said this video has been removed by the user, I did remove that stream, had to do a little bit of editing on it, and I re-uploaded it to a Grip on Life 2, which is what I'm trying to say. And when I left my place, it still had not finished processing, but I set it to publish once it's done processing. So it may have published by now, but when videos first publish, if you don't wait for them to fully process, it's going to be in lower quality. Just know if you view that video before it fully finishes processing, the quality will not be at 1080p. So you may have to wait another hour or so if you want to check that out in the highest quality possible. But yeah, that's what happened earlier. We had a couple people come in and, found a few ways to bypass the spam filter. And they were doxing the Lichen Theory channel. So, I deleted the video and re-uploaded it to a Grip on Life 2. And the reason why I did that is because, I had RJ come on and Lewis Fuller, and we were using a little more profanity than I'd like to have on the main Grip on Life channel. So, I could have edited it in place on my main channel and left it up. But I said, this is a little bit too hot for a Grip on Life, the main monetized channel. I'm very cautious with this channel, folks. The only way I can be in full control of the content I put out on this channel is if I do it by myself. When you bring people on a panel, you gotta watch what they say too. And you have to decide after that stream ends if it's safe enough to leave as a replay. Now, whenever I do my live streams, I always disable the DVR function. That means people cannot rewind while they're watching. Not only do I want people to be here live engaging while it's live, but I don't want people to be able to rewind in case somebody does something stupid like dox somebody. They're not able to rewind and get that information. So that's how much precaution I take, folks. And that's why I've really never had any problems. I'm proactive. I've done many videos on that in the past. I'll do some more on that in the future. Let's see. I wish there was such a thing as a troll zapper. Me too, bro. I'm working with my YouTube logo on it. Lewis says, behave yourself, trolls. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So let's get right to it, folks, because this isn't a drama stream. There probably won't be a whole lot of people here, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. This is episode number 92, and we are live from the San Francisco Bay Trail in Redwood Shores by the Redwood Shores Public Library. Glad you could all join me here today. And even though, my car's temperature gauge said the outside temperature was 62 degrees, I've learned from being on this trail in the past many times, it is quite windy and right by the water, and it does get chilly. So I layer up. I've got my gloves on. I've got, 2 shirts on top of the jacket I'm wearing. I've got my hiking boots on for better stability because we're going to be going off-roading a little bit on parts of this trail. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about personal maturity online and offline. One more time. We're going to be talking about personal maturity online and offline. Now, there are a few parts on this trail where reception can be a little sketchy, but I've noticed using my iPhone 12 Pro Max, the newest iPhone out right now, I've had far fewer reception issues. So let's hope that there are fewer reception issues on this trail compared to the days where I had my older iPhone 6 Plus. Let's see here. Okay, we're good. We're good. Get those thumbs up, folks. Please like, share, subscribe. Get those thumbs up. All right. So, personal maturity. What does that mean? I'd have to start off by saying that if you have to ask what the meaning of personal maturity is, lots of people coming. And some people walk very fast, so. Anyway, if you have to ask what the meaning of personal maturity is, then you more than likely don't have personal maturity. You're more than likely immature and behaving in erratic ways. And I'm talking about adults. You know, when you're younger, in your preteens and your teenage years, and I'd even have to say maybe as late as your early to mid 20s, I can understand people still learning how to be more mature and how to grow up because, or just because, you know, when you turn 18, you're a legal adult here in the US. It doesn't mean you have the maturity of a grown adult. You still have to learn that, right? And if you come from a good family, you know, that has that where you have both your mother and your father to raise you, and they've raised you with good old traditional morals, values, and ethics, it's going to give you a great jump start and give you the best shot of being a mature, responsible person that is just a happy-go-lucky person that just wants to enjoy life and also bring happiness into other people's lives and not attack or harm other people like people that don't have personal maturity do. So that is that. Now, have I struggled with my personal maturity in my life? Absolutely. I don't think I became as mature as I am today until I probably reached, I'd say, my early 30s is when I really started to become more mature and stop behaving like all childish. You know, like when you're in your 20s, you're having a lot of fun and, you know, like you know, even if you're a good person, you just want to have fun with your friends and do crazy things and, you know, do the things that a lot of these trolls, you know, do out here on YouTube in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Now, I never did such crazy things as these people do today when I was less mature in my teens and 20s. But, you know, I still behaved immaturely and I still, you know, did some things that, you know, weren't in accordance to my age. I wasn't acting my age. Have you heard that phrase, everyone? You know, you're not acting your age. I think the only time where it's okay to not act your age, well, let me show you folks real quick here. Public shore, San Francisco Bay Trail, and now we're going to go off-road. And now you're going to see some beauty over here. Let me just show you this beautiful path. Now, those of you that have been following me for a while have seen this trail many times in the past. I've done many streams out here, studying back to last year. But if this is your first time, it's beautiful. And look, it's interesting. A lot of the wetlands have dried up for right now. We haven't had a lot of rain this year. This is typically all filled with water. Now, as we go further in, you'll see the water in just a second here. Let me pull over here for a second. It's act your age and not show your size. Oh, Queen. My teenage years were messed up royally. I hear you, Queen. I think we all have learned a thing or two from the mistakes we made as teenagers, and, you know, the immaturity we displayed during that time. But anyway, so there are times where, I've behaved in very immature ways, even in my 40s. A perfect example would have to be my first 2 years on YouTube, stemming back to 4 years ago, before I learned the YouTube ropes. I would go on panels with a lot of these people that are attacking me nowadays, for example, and they would trigger me very easily. Whereas in my real life, when I was younger, in my teens and 20s, I would get triggered easily. But when I got into my 30s, nothing would trigger me, right? But then when I came out here on YouTube, I had to learn the YouTube ropes, and I had to learn to be even stronger. Like I've said in the past, you can have thick skin offline and come on YouTube, and it's not good enough. You need to have thick skin times 10 on YouTube. And part of having thick skin allows you to contain your emotions to the point of where you display your maturity, right? So that the first 2 years I was out here on YouTube, I'm making sure no one's coming behind me. The first 2 years I was out here on YouTube as a real creator, stemming back 4 years ago, I did not display a lot of personal maturity because I was going toe to toe with a bunch of people, trying to prove to them that what they were saying was wrong and I was right. And I realized that these people, it doesn't matter to these people what's right and what's wrong. They just want to trigger you, right? And I had to learn how to deal with that. Let me let these people walk on by. They're coming on the other side. For now, I'm going to show you the other side over here. How's the audio and video been? Have there been any glitches? Very few. I'm curious to know. Let me know, Queen, Mutt, Lewis, whoever's here right now. Okay. Here's the other side. Yeah, I mean, there is not as much water as there typically is. Like, we have not had a lot of rain this year. I mean, we are definitely below normal, regarding our rainfall here in the Bay Area or in California. And you can see it because Queen and Mutt, and maybe even Lewis, you folks remember last year when I was doing streams out here, the water was like full. We had some good rain last year, but this year, it's like almost summertime in winter. I mean, I'm out here, it's a sunny day, and yes, I'm layered up because there's a lot of wind, and when wind comes off the water, it's a lot cooler, but it's like 60 degrees. In March. So anyway, I used to go on these panels and get triggered, right? I used to allow these people to trigger me, and even though I've considered myself a very mature person, and I became a lot more mature stemming back to my early 30s, I was not displaying my personal maturity my first 2 years on YouTube, maybe a little after that, right? And that's why, personal maturity, in my opinion, is very important both online and offline. Your online reputation is very important. I did a stream on that several days ago, earlier on in the week. Go check it out if you'd like, on the YouTube side of things. I believe it's also on Facebook as well. But these live streams are only broadcasted, these mobile live streams are only broadcasted on YouTube. So, anyway. So, where did the turnaround happen, right? Where did the turnaround happen? I started to realize how to play this online game better because nowadays, everything is going online, including business, right? Everyone has to learn to adapt to the online world. I'm just waiting for somebody to pass by. A lot of people are out riding their bikes today. Look at how dry it is. This is typically all filled with water. It's really, really dry. There'll be water when we get further in. Everything is going online. Let me see here. Hey James, how you doing? James, I really hope you're not trolling, bro, and just waiting for the right opportunity to do something. I really hope you're not, dude, because a lot of people that have been around for a while pretend to be good, and then they just wait for the right moment to strike with something like a dox or just saying something stupid, right? So I'm not trying to question you, dude, but you know, any stock account, any account that's not attached to an actual YouTube channel, I'm always leery of. I mean, yes, there are consumers of content, and I get that, but you know what I mean. So hopefully you're good, bro. If not, we'll just handle it when it happens, right? It's all good. So I had to learn how to be more mature online. And like I said a second ago, personal maturity has become very important even online because everything is shifting to online. I have a feeling over the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, brick and mortar stores are going to be a thing of the past. And of course, there are certain things that still need to have a storefront, like supermarkets and stuff, right? But most of everything is going online, right? Most of us will be running an online business at some point over the next 10 to 15, 20 years. That's what I'm assuming, right? So how important is your personal maturity online, right? It's extremely important, right? So how did I turn it around? I started to look back, in my younger days, in my real life, when I was behaving in similar ways as my first 2 years out here on YouTube 4 years ago as a real content creator. And I started to look at what kind of results was I getting with my friends and other people when I was behaving that way. The results were all scattered. It was crazy, right? But what started happening when I got a grip of my emotions and I started displaying more personal maturity? My life started to change. People started to respect me more. People would try to come at me and I wouldn't let it faze me. And then they would try to come at me harder and it still wouldn't faze me. And eventually they stopped coming at me and started respecting me because they saw how strong I was, right? Well, now I'm doing the same exact thing on YouTube. I've turned it around. I've looked back and recognized what I did wrong. I kept feeding into people, and try to have conversations and discussions with people that never had a point. These people never wanted to have a real conversation. They just wanted to do or say anything they could to trigger me and make content out of it, right? And when I learned that, I started to realize, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna let it get to me anymore. And when they try to do it, and they still try to get to me to this day, I don't let it faze me. I've become stronger. I've gotten more of a grip on my emotions online in the same ways I did many years ago offline. Let me pull out to the side. There's some people coming. So look at how dry it is. There is some water, but look at how dry it is. Still beautiful, but it just goes to show that, this year we're kind of having a bit of a drought. You see some ducks in there, and they're still floating, but there's nowhere nearly as much water as there was. It's much more beautiful when there's more water. Coach Eli, let you know that is the real Rosie. Rosie's trying to make things better. Please don't block or hide Rosie Wren. Lewis, you know how Eli is about the drama sphere. Well, I know Queen blocked her. You guys unhid her. Okay, what's she trying to do? Let her speak. Let Rosie speak. And if Rosie is cool, we can let her speak. If she starts to break my rules, then you all know what to do. If Queen doesn't beat you to it. Queen knows how it goes here, so does Mutt. I know you do as well, Lewis and Adelaide, but let her talk. Let her talk. If she's been watching the streams and, trying to better herself, and maybe Jenny from the block, who's a moderator here as well, reached out to her and got through to her. If she wants to come here and talk from a sock account or a secondary account, go ahead. And you know what? If she's cool, we'll unblock her main account and we'll try again. But I just don't want her doing the stuff here that she's doing to on other channels. It's just inappropriate for my channel. This is a professional and mature channel. So yeah, it's been interesting lately because like last night, as I mentioned on my previous stream, which again is no longer available. I ran the stream on this channel here, my main A Grip on Life channel, but the replay is now available on A Grip on Life 2, if you want to check it out. I did a stream on, we need to protect disabled people. Check it out. It was a very good stream. Had RJ Sandifer on there and Lewis Fuller, and we had a great talk about it. Shared a lot of examples of what other creators are doing to attack innocent disabled people and make content out of them, make disabled people their lolcows, which is ridiculous. It's not right. So check that out if you'd like. But yeah, like I said a second ago, getting back to the topic at hand here. Now that I went on the Lichen Theory channel panel last night. And I had vowed to never go on there. I had not been on one of his panels in a long time. And I vowed to never go on again. But because my good buddy and blind YouTuber, RJ Sandifer, and the reason why I say blind YouTuber is with respect. Because I respect that man that could come out here being blind and not letting that get in the way of him wanting to have a voice. I respect that, RJ. I don't know if you're around or not, but I respect that, right? So I'm not calling him the blind YouTuber just to make a funny. I'm not making a funny about it at all. That's respect. That's my level of respect for this man. So, I tuned into parts of that show last night, like I mentioned on my previous stream, and I saw RJ getting attacked by another disabled YouTuber named Gemma Grace that runs the Gemma Grace channel. And on top of RJ being blind, if you haven't been here before, most of you know this though, RJ has Asperger's, a form of autism, and Gemma has autism as well. And both RJ and Gemma are high-functioning autistic people. Right? And you figured, you would figure that they'd be good people too. But here's the thing, just because someone's disabled, it doesn't mean they always have a good attitude. And if you call someone out on their attitude and they're disabled, it doesn't mean you're attacking their disability. It means you're saying they have a horrible attitude. It doesn't matter if you're disabled or not. If you have a horrible attitude, you have a horrible attitude. So this woman was attacking my blind YouTuber friend, RJ Sandifer, and I said, you know what? I'm going on that panel. I'm going to go on there and stand up for RJ, and I did. And it made all the difference. And he appreciated it. And him and I talked privately afterwards, like I mentioned on the show earlier today. I'm going to pull up to the side. There are people coming. And he was happy. We had a private conversation, and we both even shed a few tears on the phone. It was an emotionally amazing conversation. That's the best way to put it. I'm just waiting for some people to pass on by. because I'm not wearing a mask. Everyone else pretty much is, but I can't run these shows with a mask on, and I can't breathe in the fresh air. Plus, things are getting better. I've seen the latest numbers. I think there have been a little over 100 million vaccines distributed, and I think like 70 something or 80 million administered. That's pretty good. We're getting there. We're going to be back on track sooner than you think, folks. Maybe by the end of summer or by the end of the year at the latest, we may be able to open up America and the world as normal again. Who's looking forward to that? Who's had enough of this mask wearing and all that, right? Give me a second here. You don't need a mask when you're outside. I want to make things right, says Rosie. I apologize for bringing drama. This is my backup account. Again, I do apologize to everyone here and to the host. Let me ask you, Rosie, if that's the real you. Like, Lewis, do you know that's her for real? Can you verify that? Rosie, what happened? Did Jenny from the block talk with you? What got you to change your mind, Rosie? Because I never once said anything bad about you. All I do is try to help people. And I even care about the disabled people that should have a voice and should not be attacked and used as lolcows for Dramasphere channels. That's all I've ever tried to do, is help people. So let me know about that. I'm just waiting for some people to pass. I'm going to try to pass over here because it's just taking a little while. All right, we're good. So yeah, while I wait for Rosie to respond in the chat, I learned how to make my online presence better, especially on YouTube, by figuring out my personal maturity issues as I had to figure out in my real life decades ago. And it's made a world of difference because now, like I said, when I went on this panel last night that I didn't want to go on with a bunch of people that didn't like me, but there was one person that does like me, and I like him, and we both like everybody, even if they don't like us. When these people started coming at me for being on there, I played it cool. I didn't get triggered. I didn't overreact. I don't overreact anymore. If these people want to overreact and call me every name in the book and continue to attack me, I'll just sit there and smile, right? That's all I'm going to do. Sit there and smile, right? Let me pull over here, let this person pass. Look at how dry this is. It's crazy how dry this is. But there are a lot of people on this trail today. I've never seen that many people on this trail. Maybe it's because it's Sunday, everybody's out. Oh, somebody's coming. A lot of people do bike riding on this trail. I don't think they should allow bike riding on this part of the Bay Trail. It's just too dangerous. But yeah, people do bike ride out here. Let me see. Lewis is the one who messaged me. Coach Eli is a great person, any place to help with people with disabilities, and he respects people with disabilities. You are a good person. I help everyone, Lewis, whether they're disabled or not. I'm not a judgmental person. Now, do I have a soft place in my heart for people with disabilities? Even though the people with disabilities may not like this, I do have a soft place in my heart for you folks because I really wish that you didn't have the disabilities that I am fortunate to not have. And I feel for you, right? And I know you folks don't want me to look at you in that way, right? But I say that respectfully. I say that respectfully. But at the end of the day, Lewis, Rosie, Muttnuts World, Queen Helen Casey, Adelaide, if you're still here, or anyone else, at the end of the day, I love everybody. I care about everybody equally. I don't put anyone on a pedestal. I don't give anyone special privileges, whether they're disabled or not. I treat everyone equally, but I do understand that some people have certain disabilities that are more severe than others. When I say severe, like if you are not able to walk and you're in a wheelchair, that's more severe probably in my opinion than maybe having autism or something like that. Now I'm not trying to say one is better than the other, but you get what I'm saying. People that have autism can still walk around and they're physically able to do things, but it's more of like a mental disability kind of, right? I'm trying to avoid as many people as possible, and people are coming from everywhere. I'm gonna pull off to the side over here. There's one other person coming, and I'll show you. There's a side trail over here. I'm not gonna go all the way down. Maybe in the future I'll show it to you. I think I've showed it in the past. The Tidal Salt Marsh. So there's a side trail here with a wetland overlook. Look at how dry it is. Oh my God. Queen, do you remember how full this was? People that have been following me for years know I've been out here before. This is like extremely dry. And it's sad, right? Not only because of the fact that, we need more water, right? But it's so beautiful when the water is full. Like the wetlands are not so wet. Yes, I remember. Looks like a neat area. Please do not block or hide Rosie Wren. It is really her, and she is trying to connect with Eli. Okay, no, I believe you, Rosie. Rosie, let me finish up this topic here, and then we could talk. We can always talk about any topic on any one of my streams. I just want to finish the personal maturity topic online and offline. And then on my way back, I'm almost halfway done with this trail, and I'll show you when I get to the other side here, if I ever get there. I keep running into a lot of people, and I'm just trying to avoid them, like I said, because I'm not wearing a mask. See, look over here. There's some water, some ducks in there. It is a pretty neat area. It's a pretty expensive area, too. And over there, I don't know if you can see, is the San Mateo Bridge that goes from the peninsula to the East Bay. Those of you that follow sports, the Golden State Warriors used to play in Oakland before they moved. And that's how you would, go. That's what you would need to take to get to the other side. You go on the San Mateo Bridge and you cross the bridge, and then you're on the other side, you're in the East Bay. The Oakland, Alameda area. A lot of great hiking trails out there. In the hills, the Oakland Hills and Berkeley Hills. UC Berkeley is a famous school out there. I like to call it the feminist capital of the world. The campus of UC Berkeley has held many, many controversial rallies over the years. But I love hiking on the campus of UC Berkeley. There are a couple of great hiking trails there that I love going on. They're just awesome. Anyway, so like I said, your personal maturity online is just as important as your personal maturity offline. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that out here. They don't get it. One person that doesn't get it, I hate to mention it again, but I will. He's the perfect example, Jamie Theory. His online personal maturity is absolutely horrible. And even if he's actually a good guy off of YouTube and he's mature, he's not properly representing himself with his behavior out here, right? So all we can assume about his personal maturity is what he shows us, right? But how can your online personal maturity or lack of affect you? Well, what if you have to go back into the real world and work for somebody else? They're going to Google search you and YouTube search you and see what you've been doing. And when they see how immature you are and lack of maturity that you have, they're not going to hire you. They don't want to deal with drama people. That's what you folks don't realize. Your behavior online is extremely important. And a lot of people think that, okay, I'll connect with these people behind the scenes. I'll send them explicit photos or videos, right? I trust this person, right? I'm going to send them explicit photos and videos, which I've never done. and and hope that they don't put it publicly, right? The moment you part ways over something stupid, then they put that stuff out publicly, right? And then you're complaining that they screwed you over when the truth of the matter is you screwed yourself over. Don't ever put anything out on the internet you don't want the whole world to see. You were in control of sending that person your explicit photos in the first place. Just never do that. You know that I'll take another stab at the at the Lichen Theory channel and his girlfriend, his internet girlfriend that's probably watching me right now. When I was friends with this woman and working with her last year, she kept asking me for explicit pictures of my private. You did, ma'am. And I kept telling you, no, I don't do that, right? Think about what would have happened if I did that, based on the circumstances now, that we parted ways and now she's basically sleeping with the enemy, my enemy, right? Well, she's not sleeping with him. She hasn't even met him yet, but it's a figure of speech, right? Sleeping with the enemy, right? I can guarantee you by this point, had I sent her anything like that, it would have been front page news. That's why you don't do it, folks. And ma'am, this is exactly the reason why I never sent you anything, because first of all, I don't do those kinds of things. I don't mix business with pleasure, first of all. And secondly, I wouldn't send those pictures to anyone, even in real life. I'd rather see them in person naked, and they could see me in person naked and have something real. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know some people are in situations where, kind of like your situation, Rosie, you're under strict lockdown. I can understand it a little bit more why you would do something like that, but I still wouldn't send anyone anything that private, even behind the scenes, because the moment that, you flip on them or they flip on you is the moment that it's front page news. And yeah, it's against YouTube's terms of service, but they'll upload it on multiple channels. And then you're going to have to go out there and flag all of them down, right? It's a pain in the butt. You don't want to deal with it, right? So if you don't want to deal with it, don't create the issues in the first place. And that's part of, having personal maturity. If you're as mature as I am, you're going to think about the consequences before you take any actions, right? How does that sound? Think about the consequences of anything you do before you take that action, right? I mean, it kind of sounds like I'm preaching to the choir, right? And I'm saying things that are philosophical and that are boring, right? But they make sense, right? And see, you folks don't want to think about these things until it's too late. You don't want to think about these things until it's too late, right? So you do the inevitable. You send somebody your explicit photos. You part ways with them. Then they blast it all over YouTube. Now you're regretting what you did, right? Why not think about the consequences before you take the action, right? In my younger days, I was the opposite way. There's some people coming on bikes. I'm going to turn around here. Look at this. It's dry. It's sad. Like there's no water. Now there's an area towards the end of the trail, one way. And there's an area that should have a lot of water. It's a pretty cool area, so hopefully that's not dried up. That'd be sad. Oh my, I'm looking on this side over here. And, they have a walkway to the electrical lines, the transmission lines, the power transmission lines. And the stilts, you could see them. They're above water. There's some people coming. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait for people to pass and just show you folks what it looks like from this angle, what I see. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of people come out here and take photos, so, it's not a weird thing for me to be doing what I'm doing because people come out here with cameras. It's a beautiful place to take pictures. Let me show you over here. You see these, I don't know if you could see it. You see these electrical transmission lines? If you look in between them, look at the walkway, the stilts. The water typically goes almost to the top of those stilts. This is dry. I've never seen it this dry, at least not in a long time. Wow. That definitely shows drought to me. God. Anyway. How long have we been on for? 46 minutes. Duck, duck, go rock, says Jenny from the block. How you doing, Jenny? Welcome to the show. I moved off a Google search engine and went to DuckDuckGo for my search engine. Queen, you're like the rebel of the group. Queen, you're all about alt tech, aren't you? Based on how straightforward you are, Queen, you've almost got to go alt tech. Queen, I'm like very, very PC compared to you. Now, don't get me wrong, Queen. I have a mouth too, and I think you know it. And let me tell you something. If I really wanted to express my thoughts in some pretty derogatory ways, I could. I just learned, it's just not worth it, And that's part of me working on my online personal maturity. And I want to help you folks with that as well. Because, see, we can say the same things, or the same thing 5 different ways, right? Different tones of voices and use different words, right? We can get the same point across in a more mature and proper way and still make emphasis rather than using an angry tone of voice and using some hateful and derogatory verbiage, right? Or some hate speech, right? And I wasn't always a saint, folks. I'm not saying I've been a bad person ever, but I wasn't always a saint. When I was younger, I used a lot of derogatory language, right? I think we all have. By the time you get to a certain age, you should just learn to do away with that, right? It's absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful, with the exception of the water. And there's a bit of dry brush out here because of the lack of water, the lack of rain. It's typically much more beautiful out here than it is. Still nice, don't get me wrong. So total mileage going in and out is about 4 miles from where I parked. There was one time with my activity partner, we came out here and we did like a 10 mile walk in this area. Parts of it took you into the industrial area of Redwood City. It was an interesting walk and it was very beneficial. I burned a lot of calories that day. But yeah, we started here and then we kept on going. I'm going to show you the end point here in about maybe 5 or 10 minutes when we get there. Like, if you take a look, we're going to go over there. And you see the water right there? There is water here. This is the area I was talking about. But the water level is a lot lower than it typically is. Again, just coming out here and looking at how low the water level is, it's there's definitely been a drought this year. Now, we haven't been subject to water rationing because we have a lot of reserve from the past. But I can tell you, if this continues like for maybe another year or so, like in the next year, you're going to have water rationing again. That's what happens out here. We go years without getting a lot of rain, and then we get those 1 or 2 years where it just rains every day, like cats and dogs. And then it fills up all of our reserves that dried up. That's just how it's been out here. So, anyway. Let me come over here and check out the chat real quick. We got 14 people here, 8 thumbs up. Jenny from the block with a $2.99 super chat. Jenny, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jenny. Jenny, I'm just not going to say anything anymore. Jenny, you do you. You do you. Queen says, I have Firefox web browser too. I use Firefox, Chrome, and I use Opera. I use all 3. All right. Is Rosie still here? Rosie, let me know if you're still here. On my way back, we could talk. And we can all ask questions. I want to see where you've been, what got you to, start thinking about heading in the right direction and not doing what you've done. I'm not saying what you did was bad. I understand why your behavior was the way it was. Maybe you saw my stream where I talked about it with Jenny. I think that was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Jeez, I've done so many streams I can't keep up anymore. But folks, there are so many side trails. Like you can come off here, right? And there are side trails, and you can keep going around. Like there are so many different ways you can go. Now, this is the final stretch of the portion of the Bay Trail I'm going to be doing. Now, you see the water right here? It is beautiful. There is a lot more water here. It's deeper here. But even this water level is pretty low. So yeah, folks, think about your actions before you take them, especially online, especially on YouTube. I learned my lesson the hard way. All I wanted to do was come out here and have conversations with people and get to know people and build my business and help as many people as possible. But I came across people like Jamie Theory and some other nutsos, to put it politely. And I learned the hard way because every little thing that I do with them on their channel, every little time I would get triggered, every email I would send them, every phone call I would have with them, they would record it and put it all publicly. And you have to learn how to handle all that. You see, if you are acting maturely and professionally and you don't get triggered, these people have nothing. These people want to see people get triggered and lose their shit online. That's what they want. If you're cool, calm, and collective, and you don't lose your shit, there's nothing people can say about you except good stuff, right? But even if you're a good person and you lose emotional self-control, right? And you lack personal maturity, you're going to be front page news on all the drama channels. And these drama channels, they'll spread that video, they'll clip you out, and they'll spread you on hundreds of channels faster than you can blink your eye. That's what they do. That's their purpose. It's a horrible purpose, it's a crappy purpose, but that's what they do. It's amazing, it's beautiful. We're almost at the end. We're going to take a quick little break at the end. one of my favorite walks also as well. These walks are also good when you have pinched nerve. I still have a little more healing to do. Like I said, in the past I've said I'm like 95 to 97% healed. I am. I still feel a little residual. And this is the best way to do it. Just get on out there and move. When you move, you build more muscle. You loosen up your muscles that are tense, that are tight. And also, if you have a pinched nerve, it's the nerve. The nerve sometimes, becomes pretty tight, right? And you need to loosen that up as well. All right, we're almost at the end here. I'll show you from this angle. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. You can't complain, except for the cost of living, but like I said in the past, you get used to it. Sorry, my phone slipped from my selfie stick. So here's what it looks like from this angle. Now I'm going to take a quick little break and take a look at the chat before I head back. I'll stay on the air probably most of the way. I'm doing great, Jenny. How come nobody's chatting? Can you folks still hear me? Lewis, am I coming through? What happened to Rosie? I thought she wanted to talk. Did she leave? Cool. What happened to Rosie, Lewis? I'm going to start heading back. I'm going to wait probably a few more minutes for Rosie to come back. And if she doesn't come back, I'm probably going to end the stream. I have a whole lot more to talk about this topic. And going back, you're just going to see the same thing that you saw on the way in. Anyway. She's in the chat. Okay, so Rosie, if you're in the chat, let me know what changed your mind, what opened your eyes to want to go the opposite way compared to the way you were going. I'm just curious to know because it's nice to hear you wanting to better yourself and stop feeding into endless drama, which is only going to drain more of your energy every day. There's nothing worse than negative energy, folks. Listen, I've been a part of so much drama in my life in the past, in my younger days, and in the past 2 years on YouTube, I'm like dramaed out, if that's even a word or a phrase. Like, I'm just so immune to drama, period. So yeah, let me know, Rosie, what was the turning point? What really got you to want to even come here and talk about this and make peace? I never had a problem with you, Rosie. I just ban anyone that brings drama to my world or my channel. Nothing personal. You know what I mean? Rosie says, Wicked betrayed me and backstabbed me. So who's Wicked? Is that another YouTuber? She backstabbed you and betrayed you. It has to be more than that, Rosie, because one person just backstabbing you and betraying you, that could start to set you off in the right direction, but there's a lot more to it than that. I know Jenny from the block is a good friend of yours, and she was on my stream yesterday, and we talked about you because we care about you. And we both understand the situation you're in. I learned a lot more about your situation through Jenny, and I'm grateful that she shared it with me because I can understand, Rosie, why you are the way you are. You just want to live a normal life. You want to live the normal life of a 21-year-old. You've got hormones, Rosie, and that's normal, right? And I understand your situation at home with your father. You're kind of locked down, so it's driving you crazy, right? And whether somebody has autism or not, they still have hormones, especially at age 21. I'm 47 years old. I still have hormones like an 18-year-old. You can only imagine how many hormones I had or how my hormones were running at age 18 or 21 or 25. I get it. I understand completely. God, the wind is really picking up. If it wasn't for this big furry ball windscreen, you wouldn't be able to hear a word I'm saying at all. Oh, I think there's a duck. Can you see that, Queen or Mutt or everyone else? Is the camera pointing in the right direction? That's a duck, huh? It's windy. I hope that my microphone doesn't blow off. I gotta watch it. The last thing I want is my furry ball to fall over. Can you see the ducky? A friend opened my eyes. RDA Media, hey Eli, let me know if you want to show up Wednesday and I will put your name in the title. It's at 10 p.m. Absolutely, bro. Is that the real you? You know, we can't verify channels anymore unless I'm at home on my laptop with the go to channel extension. But I think that's you. Do not ban RDA Media. Yeah, bro, I'd love to come on. And hey, while you're here, RDA, for some reason, you got banned on my channel. I don't remember what happened. Maybe one of my mods thought you were trolling in the past. And if it was me, I apologize. But I know that, at least I was made aware that you guys are on the same page as I am, and my side is with the lichen theory side of things. And let me tell you something, bro. Whatever you need from me regarding lichen theory and any of his, let's just call them associates, email me at coacheli at coacheli@melas.com. My email's in the description below or on the about section of my channel if you're on a laptop or desktop. Dude, whatever you need, let me know. I'll hook you up. Let me see what he says here. I got banned long ago. Frank sent me to make some jokes. I didn't know you and expected to be banned. Are you talking about DeRosa show? Is it DeRosa Frank or somebody on your end that you know as Frank? And if it was DeRosa show Frank, I'm sure you feel otherwise about that guy as well, because he's a part of that lichen theory echo chamber. As a matter of fact, he named his channel after mine, A Grip on Life Coach DeRosa. And he was even simulcasting me earlier today. Whoop-de-doo. Let me see. Nightbot timed you out, bro. I don't know what you said. Can you repeat what you said? I don't know why Nightbot timed you out. If you use too many emojis or something, Nightbot will time you out for 5 seconds. Can you say what you said, RDA? I'm sorry about that, man. That was Nightbot. Yeah, try not to use too many emojis or certain words. Because Nightbot, you know how Nightbot is. I have to have Nightbot here, man. I can't run a channel without Nightbot when I stream. I just said, yeah, it was DeRosa. Are you still on good terms with DeRosa, or has that kind of changed since he started associating with lichen theory? I'm just curious. We'll talk more on your show. I want to prepare and get you anything that you need. Whatever you guys need, I got everything. I got videos, screenshots. I got everything, man. Everything that no one else has. I've known lichen theory Jamie for almost 4 years, more than all of you folks combined. Nothing's off the table. You want a show, you're going to get a show. You're going to have a lot of people there. I'm not saying I'm all that. You're going to have a lot of people there, bro. But you're also going to get trolled pretty hard. I'm sure you know that. But you know how to handle that, man. Give me a second here. What happened? Nightbot timed him out again? What the hell? You know, Nightbot lately has been timing out a lot of people on a lot of channels. Maybe like they've screwed up the programming on Nightbot. This is ridiculous, man. I don't get it. I'll have to look into it and see why it's doing that. I'm sorry, RDA. Nightbot's been going crazy on all channels that use Nightbot. I think it's something to do with their code. But whatever you need. Yeah, even Lewis is saying it. Everyone that's been using Nightbot has been noticing there's been some strange behavior. I think it's the Nightbot company code needs to be updated on their end. There's just something weird happening. So it's not us, bro. It's just Nightbot timing you out for 5 seconds. If Nightbot bans RDA or anyone by mistake, can you mods unban them, please? Because I don't know at what point Nightbot automatically bans people. No worries, Eli. I switched to alt to say we'll see you Wednesday. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. Like I said, dude, before you get on out of here, bro, if you need anything, email me. Whatever you need. Video clips. I got video clips from deleted stuff from years ago, dude. I got screenshots. I got everything. You need clips on anyone from that echo chamber? I got everything, bro. Whatever you need, you let me know. I'll put it together between now and Wednesday. But thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk then. I look forward to it. Look forward to it. Just mentioning the word DeRosa will time him out. Oh, that's what it is. DeRosa's a bad word. I forgot. I did block the word DeRosa. Sorry about that. When these people come in here and try to, dox my live streams when I'm in the studio and I screen record the screen, they try to dox with people's names to try to get my stream shut down. So I've been programming Nightbot to not say certain words or not approve certain words. At least it's working. That's good. All right, so Rosie, back to you. I want to talk to you behind the scenes. Rosie, I'd be happy to talk with you, but due to the circumstances, I want to have somebody else there on that call, someone you trust, like Jenny from the block. Would you be okay with that? In certain situations like this, you got to always, have somebody there, folks. They call that having a witness because then becomes a he said, she said. No disrespect. I just, I protect myself very well. But yeah, if you're cool with Jenny from the block being on that call, 3-way, we can make it happen. I'd be fine with that, says Rosie. That's fine. Then we can make that happen anytime after tonight. Like tonight, I'm taking the rest of the night off. I'm just going to relax. Maybe watch a couple streams or watch some TV and relax. But anytime tomorrow or throughout the week, you let me know. I'll need to unblock you on Hangouts. I know Jenny is connected with me on Hangouts, and we were, but I did have to block you when things went crazy. But I'll unblock you on Hangouts later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll message you. I'll message you and Jenny together in a 3-way private conversation. Then we'll arrange the call. We'll do the call on Hangouts. No problem. Excuse me. All right, folks, get your final thoughts in. I'm going to go off the air in a couple of minutes here, and I'll just listen to the replay on the way back to hear how it sounds. I've still got about 1.5 miles to go, heading back. Can you see the sun? What I love about the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, look at the sun. How's the auto exposure on that? The auto exposure on this phone is phenomenal. Is it looking pretty good when I point at the sun? Let me know. I'm gonna pull up to the side and let some people pass. Do you have me on Facebook? I don't. We can connect on Messenger, but until I get to know somebody really well, I don't connect with people on Facebook as friends, because in the past, when I had my stuff public, a lot of people use that as content out here on YouTube. So I'm very, very careful regarding who I connect with on Facebook. I put most of my stuff to friends only, so only my friends can see all my stuff, because all the trolls had a field day with everything. I have a lot of stuff on Facebook. I used to be religious on Facebook, figuratively speaking, that is. I believe in God, but it's in a different, context. And up until the last maybe 3 years or so, I've been on Facebook since 2008. Up to the last 3 years or so. Before that, I was posting every day, checking in everywhere. There's a lot of stuff out there on me. It's all good stuff. It's not bad. It's all good stuff. But I just don't want to... These people that were coming at me just want to put out my entire life on YouTube just to entertain their cringy audience for the lulz. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, let me see here. You're amazing, Coach Eli. Why do you say that, Lewis? Lewis, that's really nice of you to say. Honestly, Lewis, why do you feel that way? I'm open to the feedback, folks. When people are constructive and genuine and real with their feedback, I'm totally open to it. When you're trolling just for the lulz, my radar picks up on that. It's not even worth my time. I've had to fight to get to this point, Lewis, and Rosie, and Queen, and Mutt, and everyone else on here. I had to fight through all this BS, and they're still coming at me. But it's not as bad as it used to be, because I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to tune it out. And if I talk about it, I talk about it constructively, and I don't get triggered over it. I don't. Like I said, folks, the topic of the stream was personal maturity, online and offline. It's one thing to be mature offline and then not be mature online. It's actually, in my opinion, more important to be mature online, because, especially on a platform like YouTube, because, you put out a video that's horrible, people will download it, and even if you delete it, it's going to be out there permanently. There's really no margin for error on YouTube when it comes to personal maturity. And everybody makes this mistake, right? Some worse than others, right? But you can still recover from it. You apologize to people. You let them know you're human. You made mistakes, right? There are videos out here on me where I've said some pretty bad things, but I didn't say them because I meant it. I said them because I was triggered by these people before I learned how to deal with them. And again, even though I was old enough to know better, dealing with people online is different than dealing with people offline. It's almost like you have to learn how to deal with people again in the online world, even if you're an expert on dealing with people offline. And I've learned a lot about it. I've become an expert on it, and I want to help you folks become an expert at it as well. It'll change your life. It's turned things around for my channel finally, after years of struggling to figure this out and move past these people that have been trying to destroy me and my brand and everything I've been working hard to build for myself and to help other people. Because you like helping people. Thank you, Lewis. We make mistakes and we learn from them, our mistakes. We've got 13 in the box. Jenny from the block, thank you again for the $2.99 super sticker. I know you went away for the weekend. If you're heading back, you're driving back, drive safe. Please reach out to me when you get back tomorrow. Let's connect with Rosie Wren and you, Jenny. Let's talk privately for half an hour or so. Anyone else that wants to connect with me, let me know. I've got a lot of things coming up. I'm going to be on RDA's channel discussing the Lichen Theory Echo Chamber with them on Wednesday. I will be promoting that event later tonight when I get back home. He already created the event. And more than likely sometime this week or next week, whenever he's available, I'm assuming I'm going to be on Rogue Internet Man's channel as well, talking about the same thing, raising more awareness. A lot of interesting things are happening, folks, and I want to make a difference. I want this BS to stop. It's got to stop. And Jamie, I know you're watching me. Jamie and your girlfriend, I don't hate either one of you. You both think that I hate you, right? I don't. I just don't like the way you do things, both of you. You both do shady things to try to get attention, to get ahead. You both are much more talented than to have to do shady things to get attention from people. I can stand here right now as I'm walking and say, hey, I have enough personal maturity and I'm mature enough to come out and say that respectfully to the both of you, despite what you've done to myself and many others in the past. Now, here's another entry here. This is what's the name of that park? Sometimes what I'll do is I will park my car here. You can't see the parking lot from here, but this is where you enter from this park to enter this trail. It has many entry points. And then I'll walk around here, but I typically like to do the entire 4-mile aspect, so I park over at the library where I entered. Just call it echo chamber. It is. I was the one to open up Rosie's eyes as a good friend. Lewis, you've helped so many people, bro. You've helped so many people, bro. I'm really, really freaking proud of you. Queen, I'm proud of you. You know, a lot of people from the other side have criticized a lot of you for being disabled, and they say, oh, you know, Coach Eli has a disabled crew on his channel. Some people are disabled and some are not. What does it matter? People are people. The only thing I care about is what's in their head and in their heart. Sorry, I just moved my microphone. The only thing I care about is what's in their head and their heart. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this video here today, the stream at... How far are we into this? Gosh, I can't see. We're at 79 minutes. That's 1 hour and 29 minutes, I believe. No, 1 hour and 19 minutes. Sorry, 1 hour and 19 minutes, almost an hour and 20. All right, folks. If you message me tonight or email me, I may or may not get back to you depending, you know, how I feel. I want to relax. If you don't hear from me at all tonight or see me in any other streams or anything, then I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, folks. Have yourselves a great day. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Be good to each other. Take care.